Fill my mind with ocean, sailing in your never stopping time and motion.
Heidi-ho, YouTubers. It's a foggy, chilly morning here in Arizona. So I've had a fire going since about 5 o'clock this morning. It's warm in here now. It's 81 degrees. And as soon as this burns down, I'm going to quit feeding it and let it die down some. It'll stay warm in here till mid-afternoon anyway. But as you know, or maybe you don't know, I was a firefighter for 22 years. And I've been to an awful lot of house fires that happened because people didn't monitor their wood stove, and it got away from them. So I won't burn a fire in the wood stove unless I'm up and here to keep an eye on it. I like to keep an eye on the flue temperature too and make sure it's not getting too hot, or if it gets too cold it builds up creosote, and that's not a good thing either. And Kitty, he likes his spot behind the wood stove. He'll spend most of the morning here staying warm. When we bought the house, there wasn't any heat here at all. There's no furnace. They were using the guy used the house as a hunting cabin, and they were using a patio heater like the stand-up ones. I'll show you a picture here. Not safe at all. A lot of carbon monoxide from those things, and you could go to bed at night and not wake up the next morning. But this is a Mr. Heater Blue Flame 30,000 BTU wall heater. It's rated for indoor use, UL listed, with no flue. And it works really well. We've got a 20,000 BTU model. I'm going to slide up here and put my elbow on the table. We've got a 20,000 BTU model in the bedroom. And between the two of them, they'll heat the house just fine. And it has a thermostat up there on the top, and when we go to bed at night, I'll turn it down to its lowest setting. It's not by temperature, it's 1 through 5, I think, and it'll keep the house around 65 at night, which is plenty warm enough for sleeping. As you can see, maybe, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but there's a little discoloration on the front. We're at high altitude, and there's no adjustment for how much oxygen the flame gets, so it doesn't burn quite as clean as I'd like it to, but it does well enough and heats the house. And I've got this one plumbed into our big tank outside. We've got a 320-gallon propane tank. The one in the bedroom is still on grill tanks, but I have a RV hookup. Takes 2 tanks and switches over automatically when one gets empty, and it'll burn about a week with our use on the 2 grill tanks. So not too bad, but it works great. And if you're thinking about how you would heat your house, if I can get my lips to work here, say there's a power outage. This takes no electricity at all, which is a big plus. I've got, you can get them with an electric fan built in. I bent a couple of the tings on the grill over there so I could put an eco fan. So we're using no electricity at all. There is a AA battery to light the pilot with. There's an igniter. Push the button. But in the event of a power outage, like a couple of years ago in Texas when the whole state went out of, didn't have any power in a horrible cold spell. This would be a lifesaver. You could heat your house, at least to a halfway decent temperature. If I put it on 3, like I say, it doesn't have a thermostat with the temperatures on it. It's 1 through 5. So if I turn it up to 3, which it is now, I turned it up so I could show this thing to you guys. It will heat this part of the house to 74, 75 degrees. Pretty darn comfortable. They're not very expensive to buy. You can run one on a grill tank with a regulator at 11 inches of water column. If you're not a plumber, you probably don't know what that means, but anyhow, you guys could think about it for power outages. It's a great prep, and we'll get through this.